Hello everyone. Welcome to the world of blissfulness. Our mission is to spread happiness and joy to everyone around us. In today's video, I will share about how I started my spiritual journey, and my message will be to explore spirituality from an authentic place of self-realization and self-discovery. So way back in 2007, I had joined a company called Xilinx, which was a semiconductor manufacturer. And over there, I learned that there are meditation classes on Friday evening. And one of the employees of Xilinx, they would conduct the meditation class. So I signed up for the meditation class because it was at work, and generally Friday afternoons there wasn't much work. So I tried the meditation class for a couple of times. The instructor, he would play a meditation tape, and there was a very nice soothing voice that guided the meditation for about 30 minutes. And then we would have some discussions, and that was a very new interesting experience. At that time I was around 30, and I was very goal oriented. I was very much focused on my work, and I had absolutely no idea about the power of meditation, spirituality, the power of the mind, all these ideas. I was not introduced to these ideas. I was just focused on climbing the corporate ladder. And I was very happy with my life. But this meditation kind of, I got very curious because I was feeling very relaxed during those meditation sessions. For 6 months, I was at Xilinx, and I regularly attended those meditation classes. It turned out that the instructor, he was a volunteer for Art of Living organization, and he was also a teacher at Art of Living organization, and he invited me to attend one of the introduction events. So I went for the event, and I liked the way the course were described, how the volunteers were there, how they were describing the material and some of the results that they had achieved from meditation and breathing techniques. So I signed up for the course, and I loved the course. I understood a lot of breathing techniques, basic yoga, meditation, and how the mind, body, and breath are all connected. Then I did more courses over there, the advanced course. Then I did the tapes, lot of CDs, Astavakra Gita course. And then I did the silent meditation retreat. So I did that for about 2-3 years. And within those 2-3 years, I learned a lot about meditation, yoga, the mind. And I also did a little bit volunteering work for Art of Living. And pretty much that was that. After that, I started my own meditation, which is, for me, naturally meditation came very easily. So I did not have to do a lot of soul searching or different kinds of meditation technique. I just preferred silent meditation or music meditation. Now I just do silent meditation. That time I used to do 50% silent meditation and 50% music meditation. So music meditation is you just play some soothing music, and that time I would just go on YouTube, and there would be so much flutes, piano music, whatnot. I would just listen to that, and that was my meditation. And silent meditation I would do at home or in the garden. I would do silent meditation. So that was the beginning phase. Then I started teaching meditation to some of my friends, and even when I was at Google encourages meditation. They have a lot of meditation rooms, and their meditation was named G pause. So G is for Google. Everything at Google starts with a G, and pause is basically you rest. So it's called G pause. And Google also donates money for all the meditation activities that we do. So whenever I used to submit the attendance, so for the number of participants, Google will donate a certain amount to some not for profit. I did not know the other details, but all I knew is that they, under GPOS, they would encourage meditation. So I started meditation, and my format was very simple. I would do 30 minutes around 12 o'clock before lunchtime, and I would have like a few lines, 4 or 5 lines, and then I would play the YouTube music. So I did that for a couple of years, 2014, 2015, and it was very fulfilling. I made some good friends. I'm not in touch with them anymore because once my project ended, then I moved out, and obviously some of them might have continued the same format, or they might have found another GPOS class at Google. Then I thought maybe I can create a more streamlined meditation class. So with my friends, I started Wheel of Meditation, which is one of the ideas I had about meditation. And I would meet my friends, we would meditate together, and I never put in too much effort at that time into making it into like a business or not for profit. I just kind of went with the flow. At that time, I was also doing a lot of self discovery. So I used to attend courses, personal development courses, and I used to listen to a lot of spiritual leaders. Some of them I've mentioned in many of my videos before: Abraham Hicks, Bashar, Joel Osteen, and then of course Art of Living. A lot of content is there on YouTube. So I enjoyed learning, self-discovering through many books and also through YouTube videos. At that time I also wanted to write books, so I did a lot of writing, and I published my first book on Amazon called Happiness Habits, in which I categorized our 4 main core areas of life: physical well-being, emotional well-being, financial well-being, and spiritual well-being. And I kept writing, and with AI now I have about 60 books on Amazon, around 15 paperback books and 45 ebooks. So that was interesting experience of letting me put my creative ideas into books and into a way that I can share these experiences with others. Then I also started doing more self realization work, which I realized is not necessarily meditation. Like, meditation also has its own limits. So I did gratitude journaling, releasing all the past emotions, past experiences, surrendering to the future, all those activities. And then I thought, okay, if I should create a new brand from Wheel of Meditation, I created the brand Happiness Habits, because I realized a lot of people want happiness in their life, but they are struggling with their day-to-day activities, their responsibilities towards family, financial obligations, all those things. So cultivating happiness, I thought that it would be a good idea if I can come up with a list of habits and spread that as happiness habits. And then in the last year, I kind of evolved that into blissfulness, which is a more higher state of being, which includes a lot of things other than happiness, which includes wealth creation, it includes relationship building, it includes self realization with meditation, and also self realization through community. So then I came up with this concept of blissfulness, because ultimately we want blissfulness, right, in our life. We want the inner peace, we want the inner joy, and we also want that ability to maintain it for longer time. So stress always comes in the life. What happens is we get so entangled in the stress, we do not know how to get out of it. Most of the times we have the skills to solve the problem, but just the amount of effort that is required to solve problems, that puts a lot of mental energy, strain on our mental energy, strain on our emotional energy. So we want to go towards blissfulness, and we want to solve our problems from a place of contentment and satisfaction, rather from a place of stressful or chaos. Ultimately, any responsibility, any project, any problem that comes, or any issues that we have to tackle, we have to still do the real practical work. But do we do it from a stressful place, or do we do it from a blissful place, right? We still have to take the action, we still have to do the work, but we can do it from a blissful place. And the question is how to do it from a blissful place is, we have to keep these processes like meditation, talking to trusted friends and family, releasing the past, surrendering to the past, separating fact from the stories that we create in our mind, understanding our belief system. So all this is called inner work, right? If someone is on a spiritual path, or someone is into self-help, personal growth, all this, we call this as inner work, because it's not like the regular work where we are getting paid. Inner work, nobody pays us, right? We have to do the work so that we get the benefits. Like exercising, we exercise the body, that is kind of like a work, right? We are exerting the body, and nobody pays us to do exercise. We have to do it on our own, so it's like inner exercise. But then we see the benefits. We have better health, our mood is better, we are more healthy, and as we get older, we have less issues, health issues. So this inner work it includes everything, right? Spiritual, it includes our perception management, it includes how we interpret events, it includes letting go of things that we cannot control, it includes continuously building new skills, right? Like now there is so much AI, so learning about all that and understanding how we can implement more technology into our life for our benefits. How then also wealth creation, how we can be more wealthy, more how we can save more money, how we can invest more money. Ultimately, all of this helps in blissfulness. So my journey started in 2007. Now it's almost 2027 next year. We have 5 more months. So it's been 20 years, and I had gone through all this journey of, my first personal project was Gardeners Forever. I wanted to do fundraising and charity work. So I did a little bit of that. I raised some money, I donated some money here and there, I did volunteering work. So how it all started, right, with Art of Living, with Gardeners Forever, then it evolved into We Love Meditation, then it evolved into Happiness Habits, and now I'm branding everything under Blissfulness, which is an interesting idea because blissfulness itself is a state of being. It's also my marketing brand. My website is www.blissfulness.life, and almost every area, whether it is physical well-being, spiritual well-being, emotional well-being, financial well-being, all this still comes under blissfulness. And our inner happiness, inner joy, which is the inner work, that also comes under blissfulness. And that's how I made progress year after year, decade after decade, into fine-tuning my mind or my ideas into something that is easily understandable to a general audience and fits my personality, which is more introverted, and I can easily create videos now, and my books. Pretty much I do everything on my own. I don't have any staff, or I don't use any contractors. I create all my videos by myself. I create my books by myself, and I use AI. I enjoy the process of creation and sharing, and it brings me a lot of joy and happiness just doing this sharing work and this inner work, because I know that everyone wants to be the best version of who they are, and there are so many thousands of tools. All we have to know is which tool to access as what at what point in our life, and that's an ongoing journey. It never stops. It, as issues and problems come in our life, we have to develop new skills to tackle them, new friendships, new relationships, that creates new freedom, new connections, new bonding. And as we evolve through life, we go through different stages, our needs change. When we are young, we need excitement, we need guidance, we need a structure, and as we get old, we have experience and we are more wiser, so we need someone to share that wisdom with and connect with. So that was my message for today. I shared my journey with you, and I encourage you also to find your purpose, find your life's mission, your inner, continue your inner work, find your inner happiness, and spread happiness and joy to everyone around you. All right, take care. Bye bye.